And good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Sunday, October 2nd, 2022. Globex session began with the markets basically attempting to move higher. The NASDAQ had a little bit of a struggle trying to participate. And in any case, the market did turn once the Asian markets began to open about 25 minutes ago. And now we are pretty much heading lower. So to quickly update where we are, I continue to count that we are within a minor fifth wave down, but in all honesty, minor wave 5 of an intermediate third wave. So we're on our way to completing the intermediate third wave, which should be a pretty large accomplishment here for the markets, but I do see it coming to a conclusion. So within intermediate wave 3, there are going to be 5 waves of minor degree, and I can measure out 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're within minor wave 5 down. What's going to be inside that minor wave 5 down? It is going to be consisting of 5 waves of minute degree. And I'm going to go to this. I can't just pull this open. That's what I want to see. So now we're down inside the minor 5, and there are going to be 5 waves of minute degree, of which we have minute 1, minute 2. We're inside of minute wave 3, of which we now have 1, 2, 3, maybe. I was feeling that 3 needs to end up by 35.64. It still may, before we get a little bit of a bounce. We'll see. If not, we're going to get a bounce likely to come back up here. Again, just some quick Elliott as we walk through this, that if we're looking for a small fourth wave, we're inside a smaller, minute wave 3 of minor wave 5. So again, building blocks, patterns repeat, and they build degrees moving higher as the picture grows. So now we're down into the nitty-gritty trying to count this larger minor wave 5 down, and it broken down into a 1, a 2. We're inside the 3, of which will consist of its own 5 waves. 1, 2, possibly 3. I'm going to look for 3 to come down in here. We're going to get a 4, and then we're going to get another 5, and I'm looking for that wave 5 to come down. Right here, this 100%, that is where wave 3 would be equal to wave 1, and I put a 1 right there. So it would be equal to wave 1, but I'm looking for it to come in a little bit more so that the third wave is the largest, the longest, and the strongest, as Elliott had said. And that should also pull through for us here. At a minimum, it needs to at least come into 35.64, a little bit below. I'd like to see it come into here, then do a small 4, then do a 5, and then finish that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring that all the way down under here. So I am ultimately, between sometime today, maybe tomorrow, looking for the S&P to hopefully get down to 3,500 and maybe dip just below before we get the next larger. So what this would then be completing down in here would be that minor wave 5, and in turn, the intermediate third wave. And then once I get that in, then I'm looking for, so once we get that intermediate third wave in, I'm looking for an intermediate fourth wave. Then I'm looking for something, and if we're going to go from the top, right? This is the top of intermediate wave 2, the start of intermediate wave 3. I'm going to take that. I'm going to connect it on a retracement level. I'm going to connect it all the way down to wherever this minor 5, and in turn, that intermediate 3 completes, and that's going to give me the retracements of where I would expect the next rally phase to take us. So once this is complete, I'm going to connect from the top of wave 2, or the starting point of intermediate wave 3, to the completion point of intermediate wave 3. That'll give me the retracements. Again, these are the extensions, and on the drawing tools, at least on my system, that is the retracements. So you're going to use Fibonacci retracements on that one. That'll give you the levels of where an expected wave 4 rally should go. So for tomorrow, I am continuing to look for downside. I don't think we get it until we get to the completion point for intermediate wave 3, I think our bounces are going to be, come on, please. This gets so annoying. Our bounces are going to be small. This is not all that great. We went in from 36, where are we? 36.20 up to 36.90. So yeah, 70, not a bad bounce. And I'm even looking for one a little bit smaller down here. And then once wave 5 is complete, then I'm going to be looking for a larger 4, a larger intermediate wave 4. And then we're looking for probably a rally back up to 37.50 over time. All right, so that's that. And right now, our moving averages are still lined up for the market to go down. We did see that this little sideways, and so it did kind of flatten things out, but we've now picked up the pace and we're moving lower. We've got the 200s pretty much now cresting and going down. Once the SMA crosses below the EMA, it should give a little bit extra boost, but still provide then resistance. Then to me, it starts to form the support and resistance zone for the wave 4. But we'll see, and we'll talk about that more. So anyway, for tomorrow, I would be looking for additional downside before we get a stronger, more sustained rally phase. Until then, I think rallies will happen, but I'm not going to think that they're going to be all that strong. Now, get over to the NASDAQ. And same picture. And again, here we are. And let me see if I can just pull that this way. And then we can take a peek a little bit. Come on. And then roll it down. There we go. All right. So we're just looking at the 5. Here we have minute wave 1, minute wave 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm still looking for it to come below 10,822. Again, that is where 3 would be equal to 1. I'm comfortable with that, but it puts a little bit more pressure on wave 5. But at least as long as wave 3 is not the shortest wave, then it can stop there. But right now, wave 3 would be the shortest wave, and that we can't allow. So I'm not looking for a bigger bounce here. Maybe a little bit back, and then but we should at least come down to 10,822 before we bounce and start to really hit higher. And that only, again, right, within this minute third wave, we have subminute 1, subminute 2, subminute 3 coming down a little bit more maybe, then subminute 4, subminute 5, and then that completes minute 3. Then we get a minute wave 4 and a minute wave 5, and that'll complete that minor 5. So I'm still looking below there. I think we get in there somewhere, and we put that in, and then we put in the intermediate wave 3 low. Then we go. Now, again, if this 1, 2, and this third wave brings us down to here, then we know we're still looking for a 4 and we still have a 5. So there is potential. There is potential for the third wave, and then again, the minor 5th wave to get us down to 10,500 or below before we get to see the end of that intermediate third wave. Again, that's the goal. We're looking for the intermediate third wave to complete. Could happen tomorrow, could happen Tuesday, but I'm looking for it to complete and get us back into a little bit of a bigger rally phase. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Again, right now, we are kind of holding lower levels. We kind of have where we think is going to kind of work out for ourselves tonight. I'm not looking for strong rallies here. If they occur and they start to break above these moving averages, something else is up, and I will take another look at it again. But right now, based on what I can see thus far, that's not something I'd be looking for. All right, I'm going to leave it right there, and our next update will be on Monday, October the 3rd.